Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about meaning, objectives, kinds and aids of interpretation, meaning of construction, constitutional construction and principles of constitutional construction. Meaning of interpretation. The word interpretation is derived from Old French interpretation, from the verb interpretare. Interpretation is the act of explaining the meaning of something. When a document is presented to a court as a statute, then it is functions of the court to interpret that document. The court must give effect to that document. Definition. According to Salmond, interpretation can be defined as interpretation or construction is the process by which the court seeks to ascertain the meaning of legislation through the medium of the authoritative form in which it is expressed. According to Maxwell, statute is defined as the will of legislature, and interpretation is defined as the process of discovering the will of legislature. Interpretation can be understood as the act or process of determining the intended meaning of written documents such as constitution, statute, contract, deed or will. Objectives of interpretation. According to Keaton, the main objectives of interpretation is to discover the true meaning of word, legislative language, and to find out the legislative intent. Other objectives of interpretation are to avoid conflict and inconsistencies in law, to find out correct or true meaning of law, to provide solution to resolve dispute, to avoid the ambiguities in statutes. To avoid differences in law, to give correct judgment, to avoid confusion in law and fact, to ascertain the meaning of the letter and expression of law. Thus, the main objective of interpretation is to figure out the true meaning and intention of law, to avoid confusion and ensure clarity, to give proper reasoning and to avoid conflict in law. Aids to the interpretation. The assistance or help taken by the court in the process of interpretation known as aids to the interpretation. Aids can be divided into two headings: intrinsic and external aids. Intrinsic aids. Intrinsic aids means those aids which are available in the statute itself, which may help to make the meaning clear. The intrinsic aids to interpretation are title. It is given to the top of a statute book. It is a key indicator of legislative substance. Modern laws have generally both title, long title and short title. Preamble. A preamble is a key to open the mind of the legislative. It contains the main objectives and purpose of the act. Preamble is the act in nutshell. It is a preparatory statement. Headings. Headings are assigned to the sections or to a group of sections. Schedules. Schedules are conceived as an integral part of the statute. They are at the end and contain minimum details. It lays down the procedural matters. Punctuation. It is the system of using full stop, comma, colons, semicolons, dash and apostrophes etc. to make a clear text. Commencement, immediate after publications. Commencement is made immediate after publications or after certain time or publishing notice. Repeal, repeal is termination of an act. There is no any effect of that act after repeal. External aids to interpretation. The external aids are very useful tools for interpretation of statute. External aids means using outside statute or documents for interpretation. The external aids to interpretation are historical setting. It refers to the historical fact behind the adoption of individual statute. Parliamentary history. Parliamentary history constitutes of the entire documents, records, materials, minutes of meetings, objectives and agreement, feedback and suggestion during various stages. Other external aids: political and social development and scientific invention, foreign decisions, usage, dictionary and law book, other materials. Comparison between interpretation and construction. Interpretation means the act of finding out the true sense of an enactment by giving the words of the enactment their natural and ordinary meaning. Construction means the process of legal exposition and draws a conclusion on the basis of logical reasoning. Constructions is the process of drawing conclusion with respect to subjects that are beyond the direct expressions of the text. Interpretation is the process adopted by the court to determine the meaning of legislature by way of legislative form. Constructions of constitutions. Constitutions is the aggregate fundamental principles. Constitutional construction is the process by which meaning are assigned to words in a constitution to enable legal decisions to be made that are justified by it. Constitutional construction argues that the constitution has a dual nature, that is, legal and political. Principle of constitutional construction: presumption of validity, harmonious constructions, liberal interpretation, progressive interpretation. Thank you, friends.